Now, if you guys are excited about downtown like I am, well, you're going to be really excited to hear from Rick Roush. Let's bring him in. Rick, how's it going? From the T.W. Patterson building.
Yes, sir.
How long have you owned that?
20 years. We bought it in 1994. It was family.
In 1994, you probably got a pretty good deal on that building.
Well, it's all relevant, you know. Yeah.
Relevant to the condition that it was in when you purchased it?
Right, yeah.
What was the condition like, Rick?
We had probably 43% occupancy and about 48 cents a square foot at the time.
Wow.
And
giving it away.
Yeah, debilitated electrical system, air conditioning system, lighting system, plumbing system. And so from that time on, then it was a replacement of the elevators, air conditioning, all the lights in there, and constant working on upgrading the plumbing. But yeah.
What made you want to undertake this kind of task?
You know, I thought I was pretty smart up until the time that I bought it. So I got involved in the Grizzlies, and I was one of the 3 founders with John and Diane Carbray to help bring the Fresno Grizzlies to town. And at the end, I started out as an investor, and then became the CFO and became the chairman of the board, and then bought the building because I just passionately believed in downtown. Always been a believer in that, and I think that we've made great strides. Unfortunately, it's taken a long time and many mayors and city council members to see the light. And
has it been tough working with them?
In the past, it's been really tough. But you know,
because of what, Rick? What made it tough in the past?
Yeah, I think that one, because at that point, you know, the city had made a change in its ordinance to allow government agencies to go north, and
which is against former President Jimmy Carter's ruling.
Exactly right. So it was a clear breach of federal law, but the developers prevailed, and they ended up building all north. So all of downtown, the iconic buildings, you know, basically sold at a premium when the city council voted on that in the early 90s, and then they just decayed and fell apart, and everyone went north. So then it was very hard to get city council members to step back up and to do what was right and to believe what needed to be done. So it was generational
because
change.
Of campaign funds or what?
Well,
no, we won't go any further on that one. I'll leave you alone on that one, Rick. Yeah. Now, did you grow up in Fresno?
I was actually born in Baltimore, Maryland, and came to Southern California when I was 10. Came to Fresno in 1980 area, so
what brought you here?
1981, I think. I was self-employed, had a transportation supply business, and built a facility here in Fresno, and quickly got out of that and got into the financial advisory business in 1982.
Why? Because you saw Fresno as a place that was affordable to build?
Yeah, Southern California, we had 2 kids, and it was really difficult to raise a family down there. It wasn't something you felt good about. Fresno, when I came up here, it was such a joy, a beautiful place.
Felt like you had some money in your pocket.
Well, right? Yeah, it was all the right things.
So the downtown. 94. Oh my gosh, this is a big step for a person to come in.
It was, yeah.
Just like you said, at 94, downtown was forgotten about. It was pushed to the side a little bit. But did you have a vision for downtown at that point?
We did. You know, it was a group.
We did who?
Well, there was a group of us that were just passionate about downtown. I mean, even some city council members were passionate about downtown. We had beliefs that even there was talk about there could be a river that went through it, as you remember. Some of the council members talked about it. So I think with the Grizzlies, that really was the anchor to that, and that really, we believed that was going to change the landscape. It did, but things didn't quite go as planned.
What happened?
Well, I think that we, quickly the founders were displaced, and then I was elected to put the Grizzlies up for sale. It was a difficult agreement with the city and the financing package they put together, the parking agreement, and so it really took more than just operating a AAA baseball team.
Did that slow down the growth of downtown?
It really did. It really did. It took a step back. But then, they things worked out. We got a new purchaser in there. The Giants were good. Unfortunately, now we're seeing a change in that. So they're pedaling upstream to bring the Houston Astros in here, I think, against the Giants, especially after they just win the World Series and displace them.
Well, one thing that could make it better is to try to get the families in there, not the. I always tell people I go with my buddies to Grizzly games. I spend $20 on beer. I go with my family. I spend $150.
Yeah.
Do the math.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to figure out. I think a lot of their things are geared maybe not towards the families.
It's difficult. It's a price point that they have to compromise on. So I sympathize with them, having operated that for many years and being a part of that. It's difficult.
Are you excited about the street?
I'm very excited about the street. The mall, Fulton Street, the old Fulton Mall to the new Fulton Street, as Craig Chardon and I talk about, is really something that is going to be. We're watching history be repeated, and we're watching history being made. That's something that is going to ultimately change what we think will bring retail back down, will bring the specialized stores back downtown, and then hopefully get an increase in rents in our good properties, because there's a lot of people that have constantly put money back in to their buildings like we have, reinvested for this opportunity.
When the downtown club closed, did you go save the shoe shine guy?
I did. You did. I did. Carl.
You didn't know that one was coming,
no,
did you?
I didn't. Yeah. Carl is just a wonderful story, and I really believe in Carl. And so we lassoed Carl and brought him over to our building and gave him a place to operate and sustain himself. And can't say enough about Carl. And he made a favorable mention of me in his book. And he's just a great guy. And now he works diligently. He still works there. He works over at the Downtown Club for Nick.
In the beginning of the interview, you stated that when you took over the T.W. Patterson building, it was 43% occupied.
Right.
How many offices are in that place?
Oh my! I don't even know. It's 150,000 square foot footprint with 70 parking stalls downstairs underground. I really couldn't tell you. We could have 100 offices. It's a 13,000 square foot footprint per floor, and we have some tenants that have 2 floors. We have tenants that have 1 floor and a half a floor, and the offices, just there's some are big, some are small. It depends on. We customize every office for each tenant. You got
anything that's going to happen to the T.W. Patterson building coming up?
Well, we have Casa Tamales is moving in downstairs.
Casa de Tamales, and they're coming in full force. Not just tamales; it's a full restaurant, right?
Liz is wonderful.
They are.
Her and her husband working hard to come in there, and we just constantly upgrading. And
where are they sitting?
We removed the bakery that was there for almost 30 years.
The Express?
Yeah, and took the bakery out, and Liz is going to operate in her
location.
spot. Yeah, it's a great spot. And now with the ordinance that the city passed for outside dining, that's really going to work out well. We have the Saigon Deli right next to her as well. So.
And it's really going to work out well because I believe that's the east side of the street, where the sidewalk's going to be about 40 feet wide.
Well, you've done your homework.
Yes, I have.
It's probably closer to 28 is actual functionality on that, and they're putting in some very nice trees. So we're keeping all of the fountains and all the artwork. So it's a really good compromise that everybody has made. So all the art community is preserving what they wanted. The landscape is going to be preserved with all new trees in there. The walkway is going to be wider, so we have outside dining. It's going to be out there. So we're going to see a lot of increases in great eateries down there on the Fulton Mall, Fulton Street.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
And I know you can't wait either. And I know you're probably a really busy guy, so
yeah.
I want to thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
One last question before you leave. Did I hear that you're a big Neil Young fan?
Well, I love Neil Young, and I love the entire era of that the music. So my wife and I, and we've got a whole list of songs and music that we listen to on that. Thank you.
One task for you, sir. Grizzly Stadium, Neil Young concert.
Okay.
Pull it off for us.
We'll
will
get
you?
it done.
All right, Rick
get it
Roush,
done.
thank you very much for coming
Thank you.
on.
Thank
We're going
you.
to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stick around.